Hi everybody, Tom Oates from the Wisconsin State Journal and madison.com here. And historically in March, this is a time when the University of Wisconsin sports teams entertain us year in and year out in this tournament or that tournament. This year, however, not much. The last team standing is the UW women's hockey team as we enter March, basically in the first week of March. So what happened? I'm a little bit at a loss. The UW men's hockey team started out with so much promise after making great progress in Tony Granato's first year. The second year was expected to be on an incline, and it didn't happen. They just missed the playoffs, the NCAA tournament last year. Didn't come close this year, struggled down the stretch. Some fundamental problems with the team. The defense was bad. A lot of turnover in the defense core from last year. Kyle Hayton, the transfer goaltender, needed to be a miracle worker, and he turned out not to be that. And as a result, the Badgers took a step back this year. I don't think it's a long-term issue. I don't think there's anything to be alarmed about. Granato and his staff are still collecting their own players, but it was definitely a step back. As for the men's basketball team, 19 NCAA tournaments in a row. That streak is stopped. We all know what happened there. They were young to begin with. Then they lost 2 of their 4 guards to injury after 10 games. Struggled. I do think the way they finished up the season, the last 6 to 8 games, was a tremendous boost for next year. Doesn't help this year, but it was a tremendous boost for next year. In terms of establishing the culture, and I always think the culture is what helps Wisconsin win the most, more so than, say, maybe pure talent as at some other programs. As for the UW women's basketball team, remains mired where it's been for much of its 44 years, really, just as struggling to become any kind of a player on the national or Big Ten scene. As for the UW women's hockey team, it's been a national power for a long time, not unlike the men's basketball team. The last time the Badgers won the NCAA championship was 2011. It's been in the last 4 Frozen Fours, so the Badgers have been knocking on the door. They have a golden opportunity this year. They've been ranked number 1 for most of the season, currently number 2. They play Minnesota on Saturday in the quarterfinals of the NCAA tournament. That's not truly fair. The Badgers won the WCHA regular season title. Minnesota beat the Badgers in the WCHA tournament final, and now a week later, they have to come back and play Minnesota. That's another example of the NCAA going for money instead of fairness. But I think the Badgers certainly should be ready for this one after having lost to the Gophers last week. So basically, it's up to the Badgers. They're the last team standing, and good luck.